Hey people, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Thank you for joining me today. This is episode 42 of Hockey on the Spot. And for today, we are going to talk about what I didn't get to talk about yesterday, Group B of the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi, as well as Group C. We're going to try to get both done today, whether it's going to be in one video or two separate videos, whatever I have the time for. But I wanted to talk about Group B yesterday, but did not have the time because of all the updates that I had to talk about. But we are going to talk about that today. But first, one update, and only one update, involving Ottawa Senators restricted free agent defenseman Jared Cowan, former 9th overall draft pick in 2009. Looking like the Senators have now offered him a new deal, a 4-year deal, worth about $2.8 million per season, which assistant general manager Tim Murray seems to consider a bridge contract. But Cowan's agent Rick Valette doesn't seem to really seem open to the deal right now. So he and Cowan are going to meet, hopefully, during a face-to-face meeting, or Murray and Cowan and his agent are going to meet face-to-face on Monday in Saskatchewan to talk about the deal. And I'm hoping they do get him signed. He's really a valuable part of their team. He's going to be a good shutdown defenseman for years to come. Big boy. So I really hope they get something done with him. As well as, but of course, then they are not the only ones in the bind. Of course, we all know the New York Rangers in the same situation with Derek Stepan, and the St. Louis Blues with Alex Pietrangelo. Hopefully these guys can get signed before training camp starts. And of course, Cody Franson of the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. So we'll see what happens. In the meanwhile, let's get down to our Olympics preview. Starting with Group B, the group of Finland, Canada, Norway, and Austria. Starting with Norway. We're going to work our way from the bottom up. Norway are the big underdogs of this division, and for the past few times that they've been in the Winter Olympics, they've been the underdogs of the overall tournament. They were the team expected to finish last place in 2010. They did not finish last place. And they will not be the big underdogs this time, though. That honor will now belong to Slovenia. But Norway, they really do not have very significant talent on their team. Again, they try to be a team that tries to score goals, but they really can't, to be honest. They really are not a great team, and they really only have one significant player that's sure to be there, and that is 5'7" forward Matt Zuccarello of the New York Rangers. He is going to be there, and he will be expected to be their star player. But that's about it. They don't have anybody else of real significance, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens, though. Norway, maybe, I'm a guy who believes that any team can surprise with the right players, but with the players that Norway's going to have, I just don't see it. I don't see them winning a game, honestly. Unless they play Slovenia, at some point, I don't see them winning a game. Then you got Austria. Austria is also an underdog in this tournament. Two underdogs in Group B. Austria, another team that we really don't know much about. They're out as far as their playing style. They have two players, however, of significance. Not one, but two, that are both sure to be in the tournament this year. Thomas Vanek is sure to be there, and Michael Grabner is sure to be there. Two really streaky players. Vanek with his hand-eye coordination, and Grabner with his speed. Vanek has some speed too, but Grabner is faster. He will be the fastest player on that team. And they will, if it weren't for Norway, they probably would not win a game. But with Norway in the division, they will win one game. And that will be against Norway. But they will not defeat anybody else. They are not going to win a medal. They don't have a great team. They just don't. Another guy who could possibly be there that I do know of is Thomas Polk, a former NHL defenseman for the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders. He could be there. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, this is not going to be a medal team. They are not going to go very far. The only way for them to go anywhere is if Vanek or Grabner or both absolutely dominate the tournament. Same for Norway, if Zuccarello absolutely dominates the tournament, and for Slovenia, if Andrej Kopitar dominates the tournament. But it's not going to happen. So, so there you go. Norway will not win a medal. Next, Team Finland. Finland is a real interesting topic. Ever since the NHL players have been going to the Olympics in 1998, Finland has been the only team since then to win 3 medals. They won a bronze medal in 1998, they won the silver medal in 2006, and they won the bronze medal 4 years ago in 2010. But they never won gold. They still haven't won gold, but they've won the most medals overall since the NHL has come to the Winter Olympics. Finland, they are among the top teams for sure. This is a team that really relies on its defensive abilities and their power play. Defensively, they're on top of their game, and they also get under the skin of a lot of other players and other teams. They draw penalties, and if you give them a power play, you're going to regret it, because their power play has been known to be among the deadliest. This year, however, they have a lot of older players going to the Olympics. Teemu Selanne is most likely going to be there. Saku Koivu is most likely going to be there. And Olli Jokinen is most likely going to be there. The top line from the 2006 Winter Olympics, the best line in the entire tournament, Teemu Selanne, the all-time leading scorer in Olympic hockey history. They are not in their prime anymore. They're all older now. Teemu Selanne is still pretty good for his age, but Saku Koivu is not getting any younger. He's losing it. And Olli Jokinen, he's younger than both of them, but he is coming off a rough season, and you never know. He could have a rough year again this year. But they do have some other talent on this team, like Saku Koivu's younger brother, Mikko Koivu. He figures to be there. We could possibly see a youngster like Michael Granlund there. He could definitely be there. Maybe a guy like Tomo Ruutu if he stays healthy. So they do have a lot of potential coming in, and most definitely, maybe the key component for their team could be Alexander Barkov. I have a feeling he's going to be there. Because of how thin they are as far as NHL roster space, they're not going to have a lot. They're only going to have about half of NHL players playing for them. Their defense, their defense took a real big hit, unfortunately. Joni Pitkinen is going to play this year. He's going to be out for the entire season due to an injury in his knee, and that is very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, because they really need him on their blue line. They really do. Another older guy who could probably be there is Kimmo Timonen. He'll most likely be there. He's a guy not getting any younger. Jussi Jokinen could be there. Sami Salo could be there. They have a lot of potential of who's going to be there. So their forwards and defense are just okay, not great. However, one area that could be key for this team is their goaltending. I don't think any other team in this tournament has better goaltending than the Team Finland. They have the best goaltending in the entire tournament. There's no question about it. Antti Niemi, Nicklas Backstrom, Tuukka Rask, Pekka Rinne, Kari Lehtinen. Those 5 guys are all going to compete for spots on this team. And it's unfortunate that 2 of these guys are not going to play. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think Kari Lehtinen's going to be singled out, and I think Nicklas Backstrom is going to be singled out. But even then you got the top 3. Antiniemi, Tuukka Rask, Pekka Rinne. And the big question is, which one of these guys starts? Which one of these guys is the third goaltender? This is going to be a tough decision for Finland to make, and that's a good thing. In the NHL, it's not a good thing, but in the Olympics, it is a good thing. They now have a good situation in goal, and they're so deep, and this goaltending can literally carry them through the promised land. Overall, do I see them winning a medal this year? They've won the past 2 years. They've won a medal, silver and bronze. However, considering the talent on the other teams, I'm not going to knock Finland out, but I don't think they will win a medal this year. I think that they are a little too old. The age is getting to them. I mentioned a lot of the guys who are going to be there that are way past their prime. So I don't think they're going anywhere, but don't knock them out. Again, I mentioned before that goaltending is a goaltending tandem that could literally carry this team. Their offense and defense is just okay. Their goaltending is spectacular. So don't be surprised if they maybe do win a medal, maybe bronze, but I personally don't think they will. And then last but not least, the big boys of the tournament, year in and year out, the defending gold medal champions, Team Canada. Team Canada, this is the team that year in and year out are always expected to win gold. However, they've struggled throughout their, like Team USA, the last few times that they've been to Europe, they have struggled. In 2006, they did not win a medal. They got beaten by Switzerland, a tournament to forget. So, for Canada, they are the team with the best offense in the entire tournament. There's no question about that. Sidney Crosby, Rick Nash, Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, Eric Stahl. These are all guys who were there 4 years ago. They're going to be back again this year. They are absolutely going to be back this year. Jonathan Taves, another one. They are stacked right there. That's not even all their top 6, but they're stacked. Joe Thornton, Patrick Marleau, Danny Heatley could possibly play. Hey, so yes, they are absolutely stacked. However, we all know, yes, those are the guys we know that are going to be there. However, there are also a few guys who did not play 4 years ago that will be there this year. Steven Stamkos is going to be there. He was not there in 2010. John Tavares is going to be there. He was not there in 2010. Taylor Hall is going to be there. He wasn't even drafted yet. Well, okay, yes, he wasn't. He was not even drafted yet. So these are guys who are all going to be there that weren't there a few years ago. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe a guy like Jason Spezza joins in at some point. He wasn't invited to. He's not expected to make the main roster, but he absolutely could. So offensively, they're stacked, and they're also good on defense too. We know Duncan Keith is going to be there. We know Brent Seabrook is probably going to be back. We know Drew Doughty's going to be back, and we know Shea Weber is going to be back. We know those guys are going to be back. However, they could have another new face this year in Alex Pietrangelo. He is establishing himself into a fine young defenseman who plays a Scott Niedermayer type style. Scott Niedermayer, of course, is retired, and Chris Pronger will not be back because he is injured, and even when he is healthy, he probably won't be the same. So, a guy like Alex Pietrangelo could absolutely step into this roster. It would not surprise me. So, offensively and defensively, they're all set. The real question I personally have about Team Canada is in goal. Their goaltending is just okay this year. It doesn't seem like it's as good as it's been in the past few years. Roberto Luongo is sure to be back, but he's not the same Roberto Luongo we've known him to be the past few years. He showed that last year, and he's not getting any younger, so he could definitely slip a bit. Marc-Andre Fleury, he was technically on the team 4 years ago, but did not appear in a game, so not even to back up. So this could be a big tournament for him. This is a guy, though, who is inconsistent at times, so they'll definitely hope he brings a big game. Then you got a guy like Marty Brodeur, who's not going to be back. This is probably his last year in the NHL, and he's not the same. He will not be back. So who takes his place? My best guess, probably Chicago Blackhawks goaltender Corey Crawford. He's probably not only the best candidate to take Brodeur's spot, but could pass over Luongo and Fleury as the starter. I think that should definitely be the case. I think he's the most qualified for the job. I really do. There's no doubt in my mind that Corey Crawford should be the starter for this Canada team. They are that good. He's that good, so he's becoming that good. But otherwise, I have some questions about their goaltending because even Crawford can have his inconsistent moments. So their goaltending is really a big question, and that definitely could be something that could set them back. But I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem because I do think that they have the tools necessary to win gold, and I honestly think they will win gold. Gold is their most likely destination, with Russia winning silver and the U.S. winning bronze. Those are my medal predictions right there. But don't knock Finland out, and don't knock Sweden out. We're going to talk about Sweden next, but that won't be until the next video, which I am going to be doing right now pretty much. So, with that being said, that'll do it for episode 42 of Hockey on the Spot. Episode 43 is going to be going up in just a few minutes. So, this has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Join me again in a few minutes. Thank you, and have a great day.